Good morning, everyone. We are going to work with a tennis ball today. Let me sit for a moment and just do one more class on the feet or for now. But let's go ahead and start seated, and you can sit on the ground or on your mat, or you can sit in a chair. All of that will work beautifully. Wanted to read just a really small quote that I found on grounding. So sit well and start to settle into your mat. And this is a quote by someone named G.I. Gurdjieff. Gurdjieff, I think I'm saying that close. And he says, "It is only by grounding our awareness in the living sensation of our bodies that the I am, our real presence, can awaken." And I find that one interesting because it is a lot like Iyengar said, and again, I'll paraphrase here a whole bunch, but it basically said that to find your awareness or your soul, you have to move through the body. Because we need that sensation, we need the aliveness of the sensations in our bodies in order to find what is deeper. So, kind of an interesting way to think about that. So, with that, go ahead and close your eyes. I could talk for about 10 more minutes on that, but I'll let it go. Close your eyes, start to tap into the breath. Good. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Feel the stress melt off the body. Feel your awareness of your body on the mat with the air around you, whether you're indoors or outdoors. Good. And for a moment here, I want you to focus on the exhale. So your inhale will be your normal inhale. Your exhale is going to be slow and long. Like you're going to keep on exhaling as far as you can exhale until there's nothing left. But it's not a short and quick exhale like Kapalabhati or anything like that. So just taking a nice inhale and exhale. And use your own breath and maybe try exhaling through the mouth instead of the nose. Keep it going. Long exhales, longer than you think. One more. And release wherever you are. Release that. Go ahead and straighten both legs out in front of you. Go ahead and flex the feet and maybe point and flex and point, flex. Good. Couple more, just a point and a flex. You can lean back a little bit, flex and point, and then flex the feet, but then supinate or turn the toes. I hope I have those terms right. If not, it's the other one. turn the feet out so that the pinkies are rolling to the outside and the big toe mounds are trying to get closer to each other. And then change that direction to drop the feet, the inner arches or the inner line of the feet in. Oof, good. Maybe spread the toes while you're at it and then go the other way again. So when we go that one way, we're stretching the outer ankles. It's as if you could bring your feet together without moving your knees. And change, go the other directions. Press the pinky edges out to the sides as if you could bring them up closer to the outer knee. And release that and just shake it out. Go ahead and bend both knees and put your feet on the ground. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, one hand down, the other one over, pressing into. So if this were my right hand reaching over, I'm pressing into the right foot. And breathe. Inhale, center. Exhale, the other side, pressing into the left foot as you reach the left arm. And bring it back to center. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale to your heart. Take your elbow to your opposite knee and then just look out to that side. So again, if I'm mirroring here, I'm pressing my elbow into my right knee and I'm just glancing over to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale to your heart and go the other way. Take elbow to knee. Don't overdo it. Little bit of a seated twist here. Make sure your knee isn't collapsing into the middle. And inhale up, exhale, let that go. Good. And then just flex your feet so that the toes and the whole toe mound reaches up. And then spread your toes as wide as you can. Whew, yep, keep spreading. Try to get a little bit of space between every single toe. And then release that. Curl your toes down as if you were going to scrunch the toes to the bottom of the foot. And then lift and spread. Good. Curl and crunch. And lift and spread. Whew, good. One more. Curl in. And reach up. And then let go. And then if you can, if your knees allow, I want you to walk your feet in even closer. You can lean back here as long as you're not slouching. And then raise the feet and just tap. So working with the, not only the feet, the ankles, but also the front shins, right? Tibialis anterior. Good, breathe, keep tapping. Get the toes up as high as you can. You're gonna start to feel the fronts of those legs, I think. Breathe. Keep it going. Good. And release. Woo. Good. And then if you can, I want you to lift your heels. If you, for me, I have to walk the feet in a little bit more to get that purchased. But even if you lift them a half inch off the floor, so if I were turning sideways here, right, I'm just lifting the heels off the floor. Good. Keep it going. You're going to work these calf muscles. We work the fronts of the legs and the backs, just like we do every other muscle. Good. Just keep it going. You can go kind of fast here, right? These are just little calf pumps. We know that if we're on an airplane for any length of time, hint, hint, we want to, or even in a car, right? Anytime we're sitting for a long time, you want to pump those legs so that you don't get, they don't get stagnant. You don't get deep vein thrombosis. Throwing all kinds of weird terms out there today. And relax that, shake it out. All right, so from there, let's come right to table pose. I would use your blanket underneath your knees. And your blocks are going to be toward the front of your mat. You won't need them right now. Come on down to your elbows. Softly interlace your hands. Press the right leg back. And then just rock on that foot so that you come up to the big toe. And then you press back as far as you can reach. Don't overdo it. And then back to the big toe and toward the heel. Good. Just 3 more. Press back. Think about peeling kind of peeling that foot off the floor and then back down again. Good. And then pause in a more neutral pose. Tone the belly in, lift the leg, bend the knee, and take the knee out to the side. So you're going to feel this engagement of the right hip, the right glutes. Find your breath. And then nice knee circles here. You can do this, by the way, on your hands if that is more comfortable, but just slow, easy, slow hip circles or knee circles. And go the other way and breathe. That's it. Just nice and easy. One more. Whew. And then extend that leg out. Undo your hands so that the forearms are on the floor in front of you. Level out the hips, point your toes, and then see if your left arm can reach back. Your right leg extended, your left arm reaching back. Variation here, a balancing table. And release that leg. Whew. Come up onto your hands. And a couple of easy cats and cows here, just real easy. Breathe. One more. Good. Back to neutral, everybody. Come on back down to your elbows, a soft interlace of the hands. The left leg presses back. And the same thing, you're going to rock up to the big toe, second toe, and then press back. And kind of tap in to what's happening in that leg as you do that. Good. Just one more after this. Reach and press it back, and then neutral, lift that leg. Feel that, right? Engage the belly, level the hips some. Bend the knee and press that knee out to the side and engage through the hip, the glutes. Just hold that for a moment. You can point the toes or flex. And big circles. Big, 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 big circles of that knee, and go slow to see where you might feel that. It should be no pain. Switch directions. They don't have to be really big circles, even though I said that. You can go smaller here. Good. One more circle. And then extend that leg out, level out the hips, undo your hands so that you're on both hands, both elbows, and then extend the right arm back if you'd like. Fire up that long leg. Good. Release that. Release your knee. Come back up onto your hands and just circle those hips. Just circle around and breathe. And then flip your toes under, everybody. And just feel that if you can, right? So just the idea of flipping your toes under. Maybe you look through your knees and see if your ankles are pointing in the same direction or your feet are pointing in the same direction. And then rock back if you can, if your knees allow, a little more pressure on the feet. And then just come on up. Maybe you go forward a little bit and work the wrists. Back and forward. Just one more. Squeeze back and forward. And then come to center. Those toes are still flipped under. Lift the knees just a little bit. And imagine you're walking in place here. So core work. And I'm coming up to my toes on one foot and then the other. And then maybe you start to straighten the legs more, as if you were walking in place in this very strange plank, right? It's half plank, half down dog. Good. See if you can get the heels closer to the floor. And release. Find a nice big down dog. Big down dog. Stretch out through the chest, through the arms. Reach through the legs. Keep the knees soft. And then walk your hands all the way back. Bend the knees, everybody. Take your hands to your knees and come on up. Whew. Good. You're going to use your blanket in just a second. So take it from, it's usually this big, and fold it in half. So it's a nice little rectangle. And then take the folded edge, not the rough edge, toward you on the mat. So if I'm here, my soft edge is just in front of me. And then take both of your blocks. We're not using these yet, but we're going to next, right in front of that blanket. And then grab your tennis ball. So if you've been with me for any length of time, we have done these before. Been a while. I love the tennis ball, use it a lot. We're going to start with that tennis ball on the heel. The other foot is kind of soft. I'm actually putting more weight on the foot that's using the tennis ball. You know, in other words, you could actually lift, but go back and forth and just press your heel into your tennis ball or whatever kind of ball you were using. I even thought yesterday, although I didn't try it, I thought if you didn't have a tennis ball, maybe you could use a soup can on its side. And then just start to walk up the heel a little bit, but not the arch. A fascinating thing about the Achilles tendon is that the Achilles actually starts underneath the foot at the heel and then wraps around the back of the heel. And this is your Achilles tendon, by the way, if you don't know, and it feathers up to the calf muscle. So we're actually working with that Achilles a little bit here. Start to walk the ball up a little so it's starting to get into the arch. You can either stand on it in one place, or you can just kind of pump it a little bit. There's going to be tender spots. It should not cause a lot of pain. If you've had some foot surgeries or have anything in your foot, like a pin or something, then be way more gentle. And then start to work through the middle of the arch. You can see your toes will start to curl a little bit as we hit those tendons in the feet, especially that medial arch. Try to get in there and just roll it out a little bit. That's probably one of the most tender spots. And then work to the top of the arch right before the ball mound and maybe swoosh your foot side to side. Oh, yeah, right? It's amazing how much tension we hold in the feet. And then to the ball mound, maybe go side to side. And then allow your toes to go around that ball. And imagine trying to grab hold of the ball. Like if it was smaller, you could pick it up. So just try to kind of scrunch it underneath your toes. And then release. Feel one foot to the other foot. Take a moment, right? That awareness, that grounding, finding that grounding, that presence through the body. Always feels different to me when I do this. And then go to the other foot, just step on the heel. And breathe. Just start to walk that ball up the heel a little, but stay in the heel. So sometimes we'll have a plantar fasciitis or bone spurs in the heel, right? So be gentle. You can take a lot more weight in the standing leg if you need to. Good, move it up just a little. Ooh, yeah, starting to get into that arch. Gonna get more tender. Take some nice deep breaths. Think about that exhale. Let the exhale be really long. And again, move it up just to where the heel ends and the arch starts, right? That connection point there. We want to keep these areas pliable, right? Movable. Ooh, yeah. And come into the arch just a little more. You can move that ball around. You'll find those tender spots, and it's amazing. Whew. Maybe come to the outer foot. If you've been exposed to reflexology a lot, I don't know 100% how I feel about that, but the foot um, represents all different areas of the body. I believe the outer edge here along the pinky is your spine. So it's kind of interesting to think about where your foot's tender and what that might represent. All right, come to the top of that arch. Maybe or rock a little side to side. It's right at the base of the ball mound of your foot. And then the ball mound. And then come up to the toes and just allow those toes to wrap around the ball as if you could squeeze them around the ball. And release that. Ooh, good. Set that ball aside, everybody. And then feel your feet. Just kind of stand and think about the big toe mound and the pinky mound and then the center of the heel, and see if you can find that triangle, and then lift all your toes. Just lift your toes and breathe. Spread the toes big and wide. See if you can get space between every single toe. If you can't, just imagine it. Yep, big spread. And then drop the pinky toes all the way to the big toe. And then we've done this, we did this last class. Let's see if we can lift the big toes and leave the other toes down. You can look every once in a while, but don't look down all the time. And then drag the big toes down, lift the other toes on either side. Really lift, really lift. And then one more, lift the big toes, press the other toes down. Oh. And go the other way. And release it. Ooh, good. Almost done here. We talked about this kind of briefly last class. So I've been reading a bit more on this exercise. They call it a short foot. And it says if you were going to scrunch your toes back to lift the arch, but don't scrunch the toes. Okay, so I'm demoing here on this left foot. I want you to press your big toe down into the floor, and then imagine scrunching it back to the heel. So the big toe is not bending, it's pressing down, but we're exercising the arch along with a whole lot of other muscles. And then just release. Press the big toe down and try to scrunch it back. Good. One more. Press it down first and then try to pull it back. It's called a short foot. And release. Let's go to the other side. Press your big toe down and then try to pull it back. Really try to pull it back without scrunching it, and release. Press the toe down first and then try to slide it back. Yoga mats are great for this. And last one, release. And then push down and squeeze back. And release it. Good. Shake that out, everybody. And then grab your blanket. So you're going to put the ball mounds on the blanket. Your heels are on the floor. Your knees are not locking out. Take a nice hinge from the hips and take your hands to your blocks. Ooh. They can be high, they can be medium, wherever it is for you. And just start to wiggle the hips a little bit side to side. Good, breathe. And then come to center and lift both heels off the floor. And drop them down. Good, lift up nice and high. The knees are soft, but not a big bend here. And down, lift again, squeeze. Whoo. And down, 2 more. Lift, lift, lift. And down, 4. Lift up nice and high. Down, last one. Squeeze them up, everybody. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And lower. And then if you want, come into the depth of your forward fold. You can lower the blocks. You can take your hands to the floor. Feel the sit bones lift. Feel the hamstring stretch. And then release. Take those blocks back up to the high, maybe medium or high. You're going to bend the right knee and then release that leg and put that heel right at the glute. So 1, you're going to stay here. 2, you're going to open that knee out to the side. Breathe. Your hands are on your blocks. And then lower the knee, but straighten the leg straight out. Yep. If that other leg is getting too much of a stretch, come off your blanket and then lower that leg. Come back to where you were. Peel the left heel. Bring that heel to your glute. Turn the knee out to the side. Release the knee back down, but then straighten the leg fully. Variation here of warrior 3. Woo! Breathe and lower. Woo! Shake that out, everybody. Bend your knees and press your hips way back. Take your hands to your knees and come on up. Woo, shake that out. Let that blood flow back because we've been down, head down for a while. Walk the blanket back a little bit and step to the front of it so that the ball mounds are on the floor and the heels are on the blanket. So we're opposite what we just were. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, come on down. And breathe. And again, the blocks up high can be up high. It's fine. I want you to feel this more than anything. And then try to make contact with the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the center line of the heels. Lift your toes and ball mound off the floor. So you're just on your heels. And lower. Good. Lift and lower. Lift. Squeeze. Lower. Couple more. Squeeze them up. Really feel the shins, the front legs, and down. 1 more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And down. Good. Press that left heel into your mat. You can keep the blocks high or medium. Really press that left heel down. Lift your right leg. Take it up, heel to glute. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to turn it out to the side. Hang in there. Breathe. Lower the knee, extend it out. It's going to feel weirder because we are tilted forward. And lower, lower, lower. Bend your knees. Inhale, come up. Exhale to your heart. Pause for a moment. Let that blood flow back where it belongs. And then hinge from the hips. Let's do the other side. The ball mounds stay on the floor. Lift your left heel. Lift the leg. Bring that heel to your glutes. Take the knee out to the side. Find your breath. And lower the knee, but extend the leg out. Try to stay at the center line of your other foot, everybody. And lower. Bend your knees, hands to knees. Come on up. Woo. Good. Step off your blanket. You can leave it there for now and shake out those hips. Take your feet wide on your mat. So you might want to turn sideways. Toes are turned out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Goddess pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, breathe. Good. 3 more. Exhale. Spread your feet. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale down. Hold this, hands come to your thighs. I want you to press down on your thighs, really press down. So I'm adding weight, lift one heel down, other heel down. Good, just alternate. We're working with these calves, ankles, feet. Breathe. The next time your right heel is lifted, hold, but push down on that like you're trying to flatten that baby back down to the floor. Good, breathe. You can sink lower. Lower that one down, lift the other one, push, 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 push. And lower, and come on up. Woo! Take those legs back together. You're gonna use this blanket again. I'll turn it sideways so I can face the front of the camera. But you can do it on the short edge of your mat. You're gonna stand on the blanket. Now, I'm gonna be playing with balance a little bit. So, and now we're in a softer, mushy surface. So if you wanna be near a wall, please take the time to go to a wall, just drag your blanket there. So I want you to feel this, right? Your feet are hips width apart. If you don't like that blanket at all, come on off of it. It's okie dokie. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, have a seat. The knees don't collapse in. Keep them away from each other. Tone the belly in, reach the arms up. Chair pose. Push into your feet, inhale. Exhale, come on down, everybody. Reach up. Watch the knees, right? Lengthen through the tailbone. Release, inhale. One more. Breathe, reach the arms out. Fire up the back body, tone the belly in, push those hips back. And release, inhale up, exhale. Shake those hands off. And just find your breath here. So check out your feet on your blanket, right? And maybe rock a little side to side on the feet. And then come to center, lift all your toes, spread them all big and wide, and then drop them down. And then lift just the right heel. And breathe. Just feel that for a second. Now, as soon as I do that, I lean into my pinky side toe. I don't want that. That's not balanced. So I'm going to pre-press the big toe mound down. Imagine if you were stepping on a quarter, right? A 25-cent piece quarter, and you were going to press that quarter underneath your big toe. One, you're here. Two, you're going to come to the big toe only. Big toe, second toe. Three, you're going to lift that knee and hold. And notice, right, that standing leg, squeeze the glute, squeeze the hip, feel that foot going side to side. Keep pressing through those 3 points, center of the heel, big toe, little toe, and lower down. Good. Other side. So spread those toes, find the foot, press into the big toe mound, just lift the heel. First, feel that. And then lift only if you want, and just feel what's happening. Find your still point. You can have the arms out, by the way, that usually helps better with your balance. Notice where you tend to go. Press down, release. One more, both sides. We're going to add to this one that short foot idea of pressing the big toe down and then trying to draw the toe back. Okay, so on that left side, press the big toe down, pull the feet in like you're going to shorten it, hold that, and see if you can lift the knee. So it's not scrunching the toes. Woo. Breathe. If you want, extend the arms up. And release. Find both feet. Press the big toe down. Imagine scrunching it back on that blanket. Either you're at the toes or you're lifting the knee. Woo. Smile, arms up, balance work. Breathe and release. Woo, good job, everybody. Step off that blanket and just set that blanket aside. Come back to the front of your mat. Your blocks are at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on down. Your hands can land on your blocks. In fact, take those blocks to the lower level and step back with your right leg. Lower your right knee to the floor. Take your hands to your knee. Lift up. Keep the back toes flipped under. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come back to your blocks. Lift your knees. Step back to plank pose. Breathe. If you cannot be on your hands, you know who you are. Drop the blocks and come to your elbows. Breathe, squeeze. Downward facing dog, everybody. And then look at your block, step forward with your right leg. Adjust your lunge if you need to. Lower your knee, keep your toes curled under if you can. Take your hands to your knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come to your blocks. Lift your knee. Step back to plank pose. Find your breath. Lift one leg optional. Woo, come on. Use your breath. Lower. Lift the other leg optional. Lower. Downward facing dog. Look through your block, step forward, left leg. Step forward, right leg. Bend your knees, take your hands to your knees, and come on up, everybody. Whoo, shake that out. Good. And then hands to hips. I just want you to walk in place. Walk in place. What are you doing? You're lifting your heels, bending your knees. No big deal. Our feet are either going to love us or curse us right after these two classes. Woo. And then come back to mountain pose and just think about mountain pose for a moment, right? Maybe lean to the outer edges of your feet, spread the toes, and then bring the feet back to center. Imagine a quarter, a coin, under each big toe mound. Press that there and just feel the energy in the legs. From there, we're grounded. We lift up, chest lifts, shoulders come back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Notice if you tend to roll out or roll in. Exhale, swan dive, hands come to your shins. And breathe. Notice the feet. Bend your knees, take your hands to your knees, lift and inhale. Exhale, let go. Shake that out, everybody. We're going to come back to balance. So again, if you want to be near a wall, piece of furniture, anything, go ahead and do that. So we have a strap and we have a nice big loop in that strap. So take a second to get that loop. Once you're there, you're going to step on that loop with the heel of your foot, but kind of where the heel and the arch meet. So again, if I were sideways, kind of there, but not in the arch. It's on the heel, but it's right at that top edge of the heel. And stand in mountain pose and just pull up on the strap. So we did this in a whole different way last class. We're going to change it up here. So just feel that. And then as you pull up on the strap, try to mimic on the other foot the downward pressure of your heel so that both legs are equally energized. So you're going to take the strap, and again, be careful. You want to hand to a wall for balance. You're going to find that still point. You're going to lean into your unstrapped leg, and you're going to walk your hands down the strap to lift your leg. Hold on with that same side hand. Leg does not have to be this high. It's why we're using a strap. Keep working with the standing leg, and then let the strap slide out to lower down. Other side. So it's interesting here, I'm on the porch, and the porch has wood slats. And every so often my foot goes into the hole and I'm like, that doesn't feel even at all. So, right, that is the case with so many things, so many places we walk, the surface is not even. So go to the other leg, step the other foot next to it, put as much pressure on that standing leg as you have on that other heel, pulling on that strap and resisting. And then take that strap with both hands and just walk your hands anywhere up that strap. Take the other hand out, push into the standing foot, and find your breath. Push your strap into your foot into your strap, and let that strap slide out. Whew. And let go. Good, just circle out both hips. And if you're using a wall, you can just turn for one side and then turn for the other side. So that hand that would go up would go to a spot where you could put a finger. So let's go back to the first side. Same thing, strap is right at that heel. It's one of those days. There's a fly, like a horsefly, flying around here who wants to bite me. All right, so find that nice, steady foot. It's never a dull moment, right? Same thing to start. You're going to stand tall. You're going to push into that leg. Maybe try that little short foot action to activate the arch. Walk your hands up your strap. Hold here. Take the arm up. So we're right where we are. I want you to press the leg, the extended leg back a little bit, and then keep the strap. Come to tree pose, using the strap to guide your foot. Breathe. Yep. Yep. This is it. And then keep a tight rein on that strap. Let go. Extend out. And breathe. Slowly lower down. So all of this balance work, which we need, we're using this strap to give us the feedback that we need, right? Where's the contact? Where's the energy? So let's do the other side. Find your focus point, everybody. Remember, you don't have to lift as high, as much. You can have your foot down here for a tree. It's not about that. Get really tall. Pull on the strap. Feel the other foot engage. And then start to lift the leg. Walk your hands down as if that, they were a lever. So as you pull that hand down the strap, the leg lifts, other arm comes up. Whoop, press into the quarter, right? That imaginary quarter underneath your big toe. And then bend the knee, place your foot, and come into tree pose. Squeeze your glute. As you release, the knee comes forward, the foot comes out. Whew, we lower down. Ooh, shake that out. Ay, 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 right? Shake it out. Go ahead and set your strap aside. Come back to the front of your mat. Both blocks at the front of your mat. So before we do that, I brought a washcloth, but I didn't tell anybody else to. So I'll demo with a washcloth. You can either demo with nothing, or you can grab a little piece of your, in fact, I'll just use my blanket, just a little piece of your blanket, because a great exercise is to stand on something, towel, blanket, washcloth, and try to scrunch it underneath your feet, right? So you're making a big ball of fabric underneath. If you don't want to use your blanket and you don't have a washcloth, just use your mat and slide your feet as if you were going to step on something. So, working with these muscles of the feet, right? Keeping our feet super healthy. Oh, yeah. And then release that one, go to the other one. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. I know. Whew. And breathe. Couple more. Just scrunch it up into a big ball. You can see if you can pick it up. And then release that and release your messy blanket off to the side. All right, come on back. So, still balance work, everybody. Again, could be near a wall. In this case, we're going to do half moon with that focus on the feet. So, if you're using a wall, go sideways to the wall so that you have the wall to your back. So, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold your hands, come to your blocks. And again, I want you to just kind of think about this whole idea. We're going to start with the left foot. I'm going to take my left block, and it's already in a pretty good position. It's going to be kind of in line with your pinky toe and forward anywhere from 6 inches truly to 12 or more inches. It depends on your body. The other hand stays on your other block. Peel the right foot off, lift and bring your heel to your knee. Extend and take the knee out to the side. You are still with both hands on the blocks. You're still looking down at the floor. From here, extend the leg straight out and flex your foot. Now, here's where it'll get tricky, right? Take your right hand block and turn it up to the higher level. You're starting to turn the hips, starting to turn the body toward the right a little bit. See if you can either come to fingertips or take your hand to your hip. Focus on the standing foot. Breathe. Maybe you glance to the side. Ooh, maybe not. The glutes are active, the hips are active. Whew. Maybe the arm extends up. As you release, go slow. Hand comes to that high block. The leg releases. We drop to the floor, both blocks level, and come on down. Bend your knees, hands to your knees, and come on up. Ooh, yeah, right? So we really kind of drive home. I'm just switching sides so I don't have my back to you. We drive home how important it is to be grounded before we do almost anything, especially balance poses. So, same thing on this side. Your hands are on your blocks. In fact, you could take your left hand block higher to start with. Walk the feet back a little bit. You're looking at your right hand block, kind of in line with your pinky toe. It's forward of your body. If you're not sure how forward, the bottom line is that when you lift, your torso will come forward. And when it does, you want your wrist and your shoulder to pretty much be in alignment. That's how you determine for your body how far up that block is that's under your hand. So we start here, good, solid, grounded. Toes are spread out. I feel the two corners and the heels of both feet. I'm going to peel my left, bring the heel to the glute. And then I'm going to take the knee out to the side. Whew. Maybe you hang out right here, or maybe you extend that leg out. Watch the standing leg. You don't want it to roll in. And then press into that block, press into that foot. Just see if the left hand can come to your hip. If you're good there, maybe the left shoulder opens. Maybe the gaze shifts. Maybe the arm comes up. And breathe. Lower the hand. Reshift those hips. Lower the foot. Lower the block, forward fold. Move your blocks out of the way. Plant your hands, come to downward facing dog. And just pedal, 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 pedal out your feet. And maybe notice, right? Not only the feet, but the Achilles, the calf muscles, everything feeling a bit more open as you hold your down dog. And then bend your knees, take your knees to the floor. Whew. Release and come to a seat. Find your breath. Just have a seat for a moment here. Roll your shoulders. See, you didn't expect all that balance work, did you? I snuck it in. I snuck it in. All right. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to your heart. Interlace, press out. Woo. Lift those arms up. Breathe, release the hands. Take one hand down, reach the other one over. And back to center. The other side, stretch out some of that work we just did. And up. And exhale, release. Straighten both legs. I'm going to mirror here. Take your right leg, bend that knee. And if you can, cross above or below the knee, not on the knee. If you put that weight of that leg on that knee, it's just going to feel terrible. So don't do it. It's not good for your knee. And then just pause here for a moment. You can lean back a little bit. If you're okay with this, come into figure 4 seated and rock side to side. So you have this newfound awareness of your feet, for better or worse, right? Right here. So you just take your fingers in between your toes. We did this last class. If they can fit, don't force it. As I pull my fingers down in between my toes and just circle that ankle. If you don't want to put your fingers in your toes, I understand. Just circle the ankle. You can even just hold the foot. Good, big circle of that ankle. And then circle the other way. Good. And release that, shake that out, and then take the palm of your hand to the front of your toes and curl your toes under. You can even pull on the foot to stretch the front ankle. Does not get nearly enough stretch. And release, take all those toes and flex them toward the front of your foot. And release. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to grab that leg, straighten the other leg, and hold. And release. Oh. You know, it's really a simple class. It's feet and balance, and yet I feel all the work we've been doing. All right, same thing, other side, bend. See if you can cross left leg over right if I am mirroring. If I ever had to go on an ambulance and they said, which is your right and left, I might just be confused. I get them mixed up all the time. And breathe. And then if it's okay, bend that knee. Yep. Rock side to side. Just feel that nice hip release, all that standing balance work. And come back to center. Take a finger between each toe. And circle that ankle. And circle the other way. And if you loved this class, go back to Sunday's class if you didn't take it, because there was a whole bunch more footwork. And center, and just pull those toes out. Whew, good. And then take your fingers in front of your foot and scrunch those toes down. Maybe point the toes so that you stretch the front of your ankle. And then release, go the other way. Your hands wrap around those fingers. Your hand wraps around those toes and curls the toes in. And release. Good. We have just one more here. Go back to the first side. And actually, you don't need to cross. If you can, just bend. So working with the feet, again, super, super important. I just want you to take the soft knuckles and put them in your arches and just kind of knuckle around in that arch. Find your tender spots. Give it a good rub. If that doesn't work, you can always use your thumbs, right? There is a tender spot right there. I'll have to look and see what that is in the body. Whew. Good. And then release, go to the other side. Same thing, either knuckles. There we go. Or thumb. Thumbs work great. And release, everybody. All right, you're going to come on down to your backs. Keep your knees bent. Keep your feet on the floor. Look at that. No extra core work for you today. You're like, yay. And just feel your feet on the mat. Drop the arms down to your sides. If your knees allow, let your index fingers just brush the back of your heels. And then the hands can either be down at your sides or the upper arms can be on the floor. Lengthen and curl your tailbone and then lift your hips off the floor. Bridge pose. Your feet, all the corners of your feet are on the floor. And then once again, just come into that awareness. Do you tend to roll out? Do you tend to roll in? Can you find the big toe, pinky side and pinky side, ball mounds, those points, and then the center of the heels, and then watch your hips rise up. The shoulders can walk under a little bit, bridge pose. Keep feeling the corners of your feet. If your knees hurt, by the way, here, which for some people bridge pose does, either take your feet wider or turn the toes out or both and see if that makes a difference in the alignment in your knees. Breathe. And then lower down, everybody. Whew. And pause. Good. One more here, but we're going to stay for a little bit. You're going to find those points in your feet. Maybe lift your toes and then spread the toes down as you lift your hips. Good. Come up on the ball mounds. Squeeze those heels up away from the floor and breathe. Lower the heels. Lift your ball mounds off the floor. Ooh, toes in the ball mounds of your feet. Lift. and lower. Push, stamp into your right foot. Lift your left leg. We're almost done. Lower. Whew. Stamp into your left foot. Lift your right and lower. Give me one more solid bridge and lower down fully, everybody. Bring your knees to your chest. Well done. Good job, everyone. I know that was a lot. Rock side to side. And then take the hands to the knees. Take the knees out, down, center, and up. So knee circles here. You're rocking kind of forward and back on your back. You're going from your sacrum to your low back. You're softening out through those legs. One more here. And then switch directions. One more circle. Keep the right knee in, extend the left leg really long. You can take those hands underneath your right knee. Extend the right leg up if you'd like. Just breathe. Some of you can walk those hands up to the shin. Some of you can grab that big toe. Bend the knee, release that leg, bring the left leg up, hold it right there. Maybe take those hands behind your knee, extend the leg up nice and tall. Maybe slide the hands up your shin. Your other leg is nice and grounded. Maybe you grab that big toe. Release and let go. Bend both knees. Lift your hips, shift your hips to the left side of your mat. Bring the knees to your chest. Come into a twist. If you have a lot of space between those knees, maybe you take a block between the knees. That is so much nicer on the hips. And then center. Bring your feet to the floor. Your hips go through the middle line over to the right side. It's just your hips. Take the knees to your chest and lower those knees to the left. Just breathe, everybody. And bring those knees back to center. Bring your hips back to center. Bring both knees to your chest. And then extend one leg out and the other leg out, coming to Shavasana. Allow the legs to soften, the feet to soften. Kind of wiggle your toes a little bit just to feel them in a whole different way. And then let those come to stillness. Close the eyes, find Shavasana. Get softer still. Those of you who are ready, start to wiggle those toes. Bend the knees and let your feet come to the floor and feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for these amazing feet carrying us through the world, knowing that the sensations we receive from the ground affect the whole body. And then draw your knees to your chest. Allow the knees to roll to one side. And press up all the way up, coming back to a seat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Bow to your own inner awareness, your inner strength, and the balance you bring to your life. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming to class today.
Okay.
Thank you.